Apa dia tak tahu? Nak ambil sikit pula. Apa nak ambil mood raya ni? Macam nama tak mahu ada Fitri background ni.
Sekejap, apa Aisyah tu kita buat?
Nak nyanyi ke?
Mic dengan AUX dia
Lepas tu tutup. Dia setiap layer ni.
Sekejap, yang ni tak
Oh,
apa.
nampak dia.
Sekejap je.
Nampak.
Tengok tu waiting for
Sekejap.
seluruh mereka.
Yang tak ada, aku tak letak ni. Dah tutup dah semua. Ni sepatutnya audio ni lah kan. Ni je lah yang ada.
Saya punya bateri yang dah turun dah. Satu aman dah. Semua excited kan. Sudah ni Miss Mira pun ni kan. Mana attendance semua orang awal dia tak.
Kau main dulu sini.
Tengok nak habis kita dekat AI nak tak.
Cabut je.
Siapa? Tu budak tu ex-student tu. Dia semua yang masuk semua ex-student tu orang melampau semua tu malam-malam dulu tu. Mana attendance macam saja.
Aku tengok TV Matriculation tu dah tahu lah.
Bahaya tu. Ramadan macam bahaya.
Oh betul kan mana ada Siti dah. Okey. Kan ada Siti.
Kerja tu makan je.
Ada betul kan? Betul kan? Dah tahu ini lagi lah ni. Dari mana ni? Tak apa. Prepare. Kau dah hobi masuk USD.
Dah sabar tu.
Suasana yang indah dan tenang.
Sebab nak tahu nak jaga exam dia tak. Betul ni tak?
Budak tak tahu.
Semua jadi senyap.
Nampak tak?
Bagi hancur kau.
Air kat belakang kan? Dengar suara kita semua.
Tapi still dengar.
Still dengar kan? Hari tu macam mana kau buat yang kata?
Itulah.
Lupa dah. Cabut kan? Senang.
Orang akan dapat
tambah in case tak cukup untuk korang.
Kalau jabatan agama tadi, dah tahu. Habis, kalau jabatan agama masa ni, kahwin dah tak dengan Mira.
Berdua, I memang I perempuan macam mana.
Kenapa suara still kuat?
Betul tak dengar?
Kan dengar.
Ada tulis apa tak?
Apa dia? Cek keluar tu ada. Ramai tu budak-budak cek.
Siapa dulu? Roro ke? Kau dulu.
Ni I rasa dulu you punya tu bawa tu. Ni apa? Biskof kan ni? Bimbang ke kan? Ni dia. Okay, sorry.
Sweets by June. Tapi bukan June.
Buka muzik buat. Buka aku boleh buat. Kamera on yang kan?
Kamera mana tu?
On, kamera on. Jap. Apa aku buat masa tu ah?
Ya Allah, budak ni.
Oh tak apa okey je.
Tak ada.
Tak apa.
On nampak lah.
Tu yang jumlah tu bawa kan? Situ budak kau dia nak share ni tu. Ini semua better tak boleh 15 saja. I tak ada IG I dari kan. Kasi nak buat iklan tu semua.
15.
15 sorry.
15, 16 is the best. 15, 16 is the best.
Aku rapat dengan best tu. 15 16 dalam semua 19.
Jap belum lagi. 2 minit.
Mira, you punya apa tu iPad ada password ke apa nanti? Nanti you apa off tu lah, jangan ni lah. Tak payah lock screen.
Dia tak.
Jadi tiba cakap Mira password. Kan dia live tu.
Nanti nampak.
Siapa nak Ria? Nak Ria yang masak?
Nak.
Teh bunga. Akan nak tolong kau kan?
Kau tak rasa hampa tolak kan, ambil broom tu, tolak dia ke bawah. Dia punya sikit.
Siapa mula dulu?
Bila?
Okay, ready
Brightness.
Nanti kena merangkap.
Belum lah, kau tolak.
Boleh nampak.
Ni yang dia orang nak.
Yang dengar je lah kan.
Kak, hari tu buat apa? Nanti tambah mic.
Jadi start tekan mana? Tekan
Tekan nombor 2.
okay. Dalam dia.
Aku nak awal.
Dia bukan fresh cream sahaja. Dia cream with it.
Okay, dah pukul 8 dah. Right. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Okay, boleh mula semua? Okay, hello everyone. Hi, welcome to ASIB. Thank you. This is the third series for ASIB for tonight, and I have seen so many of my ex-students who came and give me a support. So thank you so much for coming. And I think I should wait for more, which is the current students. Okay. Before we start, okay, ASIB is actually a program, a star response. It's just a program that is just recapping back the things that you guys have learned so far. And for tonight, we are going to cover on chapter of alcohol, carbonyl, and also carboxylic acid. But before that, something to make you guys, the current student, to be so excited for today is because we have so many gifts to give away for today. Okay, one of it is, mau tengok ni, ini is the smallest hamper that we have. It's still as big as mine, but this is the smallest one we have. We have the sederhana one and also the biggest one. And all of this is for everyone who are able to answer the question correctly, who will get the top marks for the quizzes, so you guys will get this. Okay? Alright, so without further ado, shall we start now? Are you guys ready? So please say something. Are you guys ready? Nampak banyak tu, nampak. I nampak Mangat. Siapa tu Mangat tu? Ni rasa budak I ni dulu ni. Karo Jahin, Annie. Hi everyone. Welcome. Ready Daddy. Siapa ya tu? Ha? Brown banana tu? Okay, right. So, without further ado, okay, let's start. So, basically speaking, what we guys going to learn for today is dia tak connect server tu. Okay, kejap. 3 minutes. Dia tak boleh. Oh ni. Tekan balik kan? Okay, alright, so let's start for today. So, frankly speaking, as you can see here, okay, we are going to talk about an alcohol. So, these are the questions that I have gave it to you. Okay, so 3 meter 1 butane, blah 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 and blah blah. As you can see, it's a very long-winded kind of question. Okay, bila soalan-soalan yang panjang macam ni, when you guys see, what you guys going to do is, you guys need to extract all the information that come from the questions. Okay, I know that some of you have memorized so many things in head because of the organic chemistry all memorizing. However, you guys should know where to start the starting point inside the kind of question. Okay, so if you look from the question itself, you see dia memang banyak it's so many long-winded kind of question. Dia banyak panjang-panjang, nampak 3 meter blah 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 blah. So it came up with so many things. So what you are supposed to do is, what I could suggest here is, okay, you can see that I do a simple mind map, okay, a simple mind map that kind of like giving you the hint or taking back all the informations that come from the question itself. So you can see, I dapat, okay, you see I start with 3 methyl 1 butene, I draw, okay, and then after that it says there, react with reagent A, so ni reagent A, okay, to form compound B, so ni nampak sini compound B. And then after that, that give a negative result when tested with hot acidified Carbonyl. So nampak negative result is basically means that it does not undergo oxidation reaction lah. Okay, and as you can see, from B reacts with the mixture of thionyl chloride. Ini I sengaja use the word thionyl chloride because in PSPM of 2017-18, if I'm not mistaken, a long time ago, instead of writing down as SOCl2, they will use the word thionyl chloride. So that is the pronunciation, that is the spelling that you guys have to be familiar lah. Okay, alright. So if you can see that the spelling of thionyl chloride is actually SOCl2 in pyridine. Okay, and then it says there, mana lagi? Okay, when it reacts with that compound, compound C is formed. Compound C is formed, and then compound C is then being refluxed with magnesium and dry ether to form compound D. C react magnesium dry ether, dapat compound D. Okay, and then after that, D reacts with two-step process. So it reacts with two-step process, nampak sini, two-step process, and then it produces 2,2-dimethyl butanoic acid. So you can see that they give you question in terms of the naming, so it's advisable for you to draw the structure for you to get the hint where you have to start. So nampak sini dia punya hint lah. So nampak drawing dia, I do in skeletal structure. Okay, and then last one it says that the mixture of 2,2-dimethyl butanoic acid, compound B, and a few drops of sulfuric acid is heated for a few minutes and compound E is formed. So you nampak sini, you know this is carboxylic acid. Okay, this one carboxylic acid. And this one B dah tahu dah dekat sini. So a similar kind of compound, when they react with a few drops of H2SO4, which we know that this is actually a catalyst. So this process is actually process of esterification. Okay, so before we go through all of this kind of concept, one thing that I want to highlight here is that you guys have to understand that when you guys doing chemistry, especially for organic chemistry, you guys have to start to memorize all the reactions. Okay, when you guys start to memorize all the reaction also, you need to know where is the starting point. You also need to know dekat mana we have to change that functional group to become this and that. Okay, dia bukan you just memorize, you bombard every single thing in the exam answer. It's not like that. Okay, so that's the first thing. Second thing that I would like to suggest to you guys, I know that some of the lecturers, they teach you guys in terms of expanded and also condensed structure. But to make it easy for you, because we have 12 questions to be answered within 2 hours, it is advised for you, if let's say you have organic question, you do in skeletal structure. Skeletal structure is not that difficult to do, and kalau yang tak biasa guna skeletal, you still have time to practice yourself to use skeletal structure. It's not that difficult actually, okay? So kalau you guys nak further information, you guys boleh tanya I punya malaun, budak-budak I F13, 14 and 15. I'm sure they were willing to help you. Okay, mana sikit anak-anak aku, tulis sikit hashtag malaun seroro. Tulis sikit kalau orang chat tu, nak tengok sikit hashtag malaun seroro. Tulis sikit, nak tengok siap. Mana anak-anak aku ni? Kata daddy. Mana? Orang lama boleh jawab, Selina? Boleh. Kalau aku ingat lagi lah. Okay, alright. So So now we go for the solution. So if we start from here, okay, so this is an alkene. Okay, so this is an alkene. So when alkene react reagent A forming B, then you can see that it says there, when B undergo oxidation, it gives you a negative results. So kalau bagi negative results, it must be something that cannot be oxidized. So we know that this might be a tertiary alcohol. Because we know the fact that primary alcohol, kalau dia oxidize, dia boleh jadi aldehyde. Dia juga boleh jadi carboxylic acid. Kalau secondary alcohol, kalau dia oxidize, it can become ketone. So that's what we know of. So now dikata sini negative result. Negative result means no reaction. So when there's no reaction, we can assume that this must be a tertiary alcohol. Okay, and as you can see, it says that reactanic chloride ada reactant, ada product. So maksudnya ini, bila you nampak je ada SOCl2, meaning that we are changing our OH to become Cl. Okay, and of course, for this kind of thing, dia tak tanya you to write down the chemical equation. So the side product, you boleh ignore. We only want to see the main product itself. Okay, so next you can see that from this C, okay, from this C, silap. Okay, from this C, you can see that we react with magnesium dry ether. So, ini basic concept. You should know that when ini dah jadi haloalkane, kita react magnesium dry ether, we are changing this to become Rignite reagent. Okay, and then after that, it says that when D undergo two-step process, become carboxylic acid. So actually, it's a very simple thing actually, where Rignite reagent nak jadi carboxylic acid is only one reagent, which is we have to use CO2. Baik, sebab dia kata two step kan. So ini first step. Second step, kita kena guna H3O+. So you are changing this to become carboxylic acid. So, and then nampak, carboxylic acid, B tadi adalah tertiary alcohol. So, kalau carboxylic acid and alcohol, when they react together, in the presence of concentrated sulfuric acid, you form E, where E is ENS ester. Okay, so ini, how do I able to deduce this is all based on the memorizing that I got for this particular chapter. Okay, so of course lah, dia nampak macam simple, but you guys have to really make sure you guys able to memorize it correctly. Okay. So tengok dekat chat, banyaknya yang tulis malam Sir Roro. Banyak lah juga. Thank you so much. Sambil-sambil kau dengar tu, kau buat kau jangan dengar je nanti aku check balik kerja kau nanti. Okay, alright. So, let's start with the solution. So, nampak soalan A. State reagent A that is used to react with 3-methyl-1-butane. So, from alkene to change to alcohol, the reagent that we have to use is acidified water. Okay, which is H2O plus lah, ataupun H2OH plus, or you can just write down acidified water. Me, myself, I prefer to use this sebab senang nak tulis. You tak payah nak separate it, you can just write down H2O plus. Okay, and then as you can see, second question, it says there, suggest the structure of compound B, C, D, and E, and write the chemical equation for all the reaction involved. So meaning to say, kita kena tulis apa structure B, C, D, and also E. Okay, so as you can see that for the structure, for the answer, okay, so this is our B. Okay, ini starting material tadi. Okay, and then we are doing the addition process with acidified water, dapatlah OH. So this one we will follow Markovnikov's rule. So this one, nanti you akan nampak why the answer become like this through the next question, which is through the mechanism. Okay, right, and then this one for C, kita dapat ada alcohol. Okay, and then you nampak tadi, according to our mind map tadi, B using SOCl2 imperidine dekat sini tadi. Nampak sini, SOCl2 imperidine. Okay, so we are changing the OH to become Cl, macam saya cakap tadi lah. OH change to Cl. So that is why we are changing our OH, we change to Cl. It's very straightforward. And then after that, for D, From C ni kita guna tadi, we have to reflux with magnesium dry ether. So you are changing the haloalkane to become renal reagent. So you just changing the Cl to become MgCl. So you can see the structure is all always identical. You only need to change the side, the functional groups only. Okay? And then the last one, esterification. So ini something hint that I would like to teach you. When you guys want to do esterification, okay, the reaction will become from carboxylic acid and also alcohol. So when you guys want to combine them to become ester, always remember this, that carboxylic acid will always loses H. And then alcohol will loses OH. So that's why when these two combine, the side product you akan dapat is H2O. So kalau kita tengok soalan yang tadi tu, ini carboxylic acid dia. Okay. This one. And then our alcohol is, okay, mana tadi alkohol kita tadi? Alkohol kita ini. Okay, so bentuk dia 1 2 3 4 1 2 1 2 3 4 1 2 ini. So it's just a basic concept. So carboxylic acid loses H, and then the alcohol loses OH. And then some of you blur, nak sambung dekat mana? So yang nak sambung is very easy. You boleh imagine between carbon C and O ni, oxygen always negative kan, as we know of. And carbonyl become positive. And then on this carboxylic acid part, O dengan H, kita tahu H always positive, O akan jadi negative. So you can imagine that this O negative akan pergi pada this carbon positive. Awak just combine sahaja dekat situ. So I always suggest my student, awak lukis saja from carboxylic acid dulu. So 1 2 3. Ini O kan? O ni negatif. O negatif pergi pada carbon yang positif. Carbon sini. This carbon. So this carbon kau tengok dia ada apa? We have 2 methyl, 1 2, and then dia ada ethyl. So inilah dia punya ester. And then tadi yang keluar tadi H dengan OH dah combine, dapatlah dia punya H2O. So inilah structure E. Okay. So kita dapatlah. Kita dapat B, C, D and also E. Alright, so are you guys okay so far? Oh ya kan? Okay. Sekejap. Semua okay Boleh follow so far? Oh, Amy Azrina, kau guna nama penuh kau. Wow. Okay So, recap balik dekat sini, untuk yang sini. Okay, sorry, tersalah sikit tersalah sini. Carboxylic acid will loses the H. Loses the OH. Alcohol loses the H. Dia actually sama je pun. Dia dua-dua side tak kisah pun. Sebab nanti at the end, the final product will still be the same. Tapi point to be taken here is, one of them akan loses H, another one akan loses OH. Sebab kita nak hasilkan H2O. Okay. Alright, so I can see that many of you say okay, that's good. So I know that I went through quite fast because I fikir positive that you guys dah mula study untuk exam. Biasalah kan. So when I think positive tu, I have to think positive lah. Kawat semua dah belajar untuk exam kan. So that is why I go cepat sikit lah. Okay. Alright, so now we go for the second question. Okay, which is, okay, state reagent A and use to, okay, ni dah buat dah. Okay, write the chemical equation for all the reaction involved. Okay, write the chemical equation for all the reactions involved. So, ingat balik whenever you guys want to write down the chemical equation, this is where you have to consider about the side product. Okay, macam tadi, when you guys are just stating the structures, you don't have to put the side product. But when the chemical equation, kena ada side product. This is very crucial. Okay, And to recap back, okay, to write down the chemical equation, okay, to write down chemical equation general dia, so you must have your reactant as a start, and then plus with you punya reagent, okay, and then on top of the arrow selalunya kita akan letak dia punya either catalyst atau dia punya solvent, okay, as part of the reaction, and bawah arrow usually is the condition. Okay, condition. So condition senang je for your syllabus. Condition either your syllabus either cold, heat, kita guna simbol triangle, ataupun 50 to 55 degree Celsius untuk nitration, ataupun 0 to 5 degree Celsius untuk amine. Apart from that, awak akan nampak benda ni je. We've been repeating again and again. So ini yang kena buat, okay, on the arrow, and then product, lepas arrow tu ada product dan juga dia punya side products. Okay, because some of the reaction that you guys have learned, dia ada side product dia satu, ada yang ada dua side product, ada yang tiga side product. There are many of it, okay. But so far, in your exam, in your PSPM, dia selalu tanya soalan yang macam deduction. You have to predict structures instead of chemical equation. Ada soalan chemical equation, but not that much. Tapi kalau ada pun, it still can cost you marks lah. Alright. So, if we go back to the question, so question asks you to write down equation semua, all the reaction involved in dalam ni, semua benda ni kena tulis semua equation dekat sini. So that is why if you look the answer, okay, so nampak ni, you see the equation that I do. So the first one, as you can see, for alkene react with H3O+, kita akan dapat this alcohol. So you can see that the way I write down, reagent ni dekat sini. And like I told you earlier, reagent A tu ada dua method to write down, H3O+, or we can write down with H2OH+. So another method, you kena guna yang macam inilah. Alkene plus water, dia punya condition is acidic. So that's why acid kena letak atas arrow. Then product dia satu, the same one. And then ni SOCl2 in pyridine. So nampak alcohol, we have SO2, and pyridine is a solution. Is a solvent. So that's why dia kena letak atas arrow. And after that, awak dapatlah dia punya, you are changing the OH to become Cl. Tapi side product ni kau kena ingat ni. We have SO2 and also HCl. In exam, HCl ni selalu dia akan kata perkataan white fumes. It's basically the physical properties of HCl. Okay, hydrogen chloride. White fume is hydrogen chloride in terms of gas phase. So you do not get confused HCl with the hydrochloric acid. Itu adalah acid. Ini adalah in terms of gases. So that's why I tulis sini white fume dekat sini. Okay. And then next one, when we use the renal reagent, reacts with haloalkane react with magnesium in the presence of dry ether. We are changing the Cl to become MgCl. Tengoklah kalau dia ada Br, kalau Br jadi MgBr lah. Okay, so we have this particular renal reagent. And then next question, it says there is this one. To form this 2,2-dimethyl butanoic acid. Okay, so from this renal reagent to form this, okay, I selalu ajar budak I how to do this. Okay, this one quite simple actually. Okay, ini MgCl. Okay, and then kita nak react dengan CO2. CO2 ini structure dia. So, always remember this rule. Magnesium is a metal. Metal always become positive. So, that's why magnesium sini jadi positive. So, kalau sini positive, this carbon automatically akan jadi negative. And then, on this carbon dioxide, okay, ambil salah satu oxygen only. Take one of the oxygen only. So, let's say I take this oxygen. This oxygen become negative. This carbon become positive. So, now, you boleh imagine lah, we are swapping partners. Okay, so, starting from this renal reagent, okay, this carbon negative, okay, this carbon negative akan pergi pada this carbon positive. So, you tarik satu. This carbon negative pergi carbon positif. This carbon positif ada satu double bond O yang kita tak kacau tadi. And now kita ada lagi satu O. Yang O double bond tu nak jadi become single bond. And then ini negatif kan? Ini negatif. Jumpa balik dengan MgCl yang positif ni. So that's why lagi O akan dapat OMgCl. Ini first step. Dan second step, bila kita nak buat react dengan hydrolysis, HCO+, dia punya komponen is kita ada H+, kita ada juga OH- dan kita ada lagi satu H+. Sebab apa? Sebab dia kan combination of H2O dan H+, kan? Bila water pecah akan dapat lagi OH- dan H+. So in other words, kita ada H+ dan juga OH-. So kita tukar partner lagi. Magnesium positif, oksigen sebelah dia negatif. So you tukar partner lagi. So that is why carboxylic acid ni maintain, okay? Ini O akan jadi OH. And the side product akan dapat MgOHCl. Sebab sini Mg akan combine dengan OH- lah. And then O- akan combine dengan H+. So this is the simplest way for combining the renal reagent. So kalau siapa yang nak further instruction on how to combine all the other parts of renal reagent, boleh tanya F13, 14, 15. Yang mana kau nampak malaun seroro tu, kau tanya orang tu. Dia apa boleh tanya. Mereka tak dapat jawab, kau bagi tahu kat aku. Yang aku settlekan mereka, okay? Alright, so next question. Okay, write the reaction mechanism for the formation of compound B. Okay, write the chemical reaction for formation of compound B. So frankly speaking, benda ni, if you see, from alkene to become alcohol, this is in the chapter of alkene actually, okay? However, because alcohol and alkene, they are quite related to one another, so that's why question of mechanism pun sometimes being asked in alcohol. So that is why I purposely give the question of mechanism inside here for you to memorize back, to recap back how the mechanisms work. Okay, so the answer for this is like this one. So ini boleh delete kan page ni kan? Macam mana delete Tolong jap, how to delete this page? Macam ni lah kan, tak formal so hope you guys okay delete. Oh, select. Buang yang page ni. Okay, macam tu je. Ajar balik, cuba balik. Tekan mana tadi? Oh, tekan tu. Okay, select. Okay, alright. Okay, thank you Miss Amira. Sorry lah, Sir ni tak guna iPad. I orang miskin, tak pandai. So, kena belajar lah sikit Okay, alright. So, if you see from the question again, write the chemical reaction mechanism. Okay, so write the reaction mechanism for formation of compound B. So if you see the mechanism, okay, you can see that I prepared two types of mechanism here. One here is by using the condensed expanded structure, and another down one here I'm using the skeletal structure. Okay, so I will go through both. So if you see, for those yang dah biasa guna expanded condensed structure, the first one as you can see, nampak ini alkene kita. This alkene, the double bond will attack the HCO+. So when you guys draw HCO+, make sure awak lukis macam ni HCO+ yang kangkang ni. Kangkang positif ada lone pair. Make sure you guys draw like this. Okay, and then this double bond pergi H, and then ni salah sikit arrow dia. This bond akan pergi masuk pada O, positif. Okay, and then after that, you akan hasilkan this thing. First step kita akan apply Markov-Nikov's rule, whereby, in a very simple way to say, hydrogen will go to carbon that has a higher number of hydrogen. So you can see from these two carbon here. Carbon on the left kita ada satu hydrogen. Carbon on the right kita ada 2 hydrogen. So frankly speaking, hydrogen will go to carbon on the right lah, because dia lagi banyak H. Dia akan cari geng dia. Macam awak lah kan, kalau awak nak pergi makan, awak akan cari geng awak kan. Awak tak akan pergi cari yang tak ada, yang kurang kawan. So that's why Markov-Nikov's rule, H will go to carbon that has a lot of H. So bila ini pergi pada carbon yang sebelah kanan, carbon kiri akan jadi carbocation positif. Okay, and then when you do this, you can see that bila dapat carbon positif, cuba tengok neighbor dia. This neighbor is tertiary carbon. This neighbor is primary carbon. Ini I selalu ajar macam budak I, kita minta tolong nak jadi lagi stable. Because why? As you can see back, this carbocation is a secondary carbocat. Kalau in terms of carbocat, tertiary more stable than secondary, more stable than primary. So kita kat tengah-tengah. So kita nak jadi lagi stable kalau boleh. So that is why you tengok neighbor you. If you look from this neighbor, left hand side ini tertiary, right hand side primary. So kalau kita tak stable, if we are in problems, if we want to ask help, of course kita akan cari kawan kita yang lagi stable, right? So kau tengok sebelah mana? Kita tengok yang sebelah kiri lah. Because why? On the right hand side, ini tertiary, dia lagi stable. And then kau tengok, dia ada H. Dia boleh bagi pinjam kat kau duit dia. So that's why kita buat transferring of the H. That's why kita buat hydride shift. Okay, nampak sini? You have to show in a way of, you circle the H and draw the arrow go to the carbon. And then the label you have to write down as 1, 2, hydride shift. So, now you can see when you are transferring the hydrogen, nampak sini tadi ada 1 hydrogen, when it transferred now it become CH2. Dia ada 2 hydrogen lah. And carbon sini yang dah kurang H tadi, dia akan jadi positif. Now you nampak tak, sini secondary carbocat, then this carbon dah jadi tertiary carbocat. Dah jadi the most stable one. So okay lah, jadi stable. Then what's next? Sebab kita nak jadikan alcohol, right? So that's why tadi you can see this one. When this HCO plus dah buang H, dia jadi H2O. So H2O yang inilah akan timbul dekat sini. One of the lone pair will attack the carbon positive. So kita akan form ni lah. Nampak sini oxygen. Tadi oxygen ni neutral. This oxygen is neutral. Okay, dia neutral. But because it donated its lone pair. Macam simple concept of chemistry. When you donate electron, dia akan jadi positive ion. So that's why lah sini O jadi positive. And then after that, kita nak jadikan balik HCO plus because don't forget this reaction is acidic catalytic. So when you say acidic catalytic, it means that kita kena produce balik, we need to produce back HCO plus. So that's why another water will attack the H that come from this OH2 plus, and then this bond akan masuk balik dekat oxygen. So you dapatlah you punya produk plus your HCO plus. Okay. So this is the mechanism. Okay, so I padam balik contoh-contoh air ni. So nampak jelas lah how the mechanism actually looks like. Okay. Cantik baju daddy. Oh, thank you. Air mas ke kucing. Thank you. Kau tengok baju lah. Jangan tengok lain Kau jangan Okay, right. Oh, Kak Su, hai lah Kak Su. Hai, hello Kak Su. Okay, ini in terms of skeletal structure. Ini most of my malaun saya guna skeletal lah. So kau boleh refer balik. Nampak aku dah tulis cantik dia ni. Nampak C. Start from the alkene. We apply Markovnikov rule. H go to carbon higher H. So double bond attack H. Bond pergi masuk O. Tengok, ini 1H, 2H. Banyak H sebelah kanan. So don't forget ada slow and step. Lupa cakap. Kena ada slow dan juga fast. Thank you. Okay, so nampak dekat sini pun sama juga. Nampak ada H, kita buat hydride shift. Okay, and then the oxygen use lone pair masuk dalam, attack this carbon, and then another water attack, and then dia dapatlah dia punya produk tambah H3O+. Okay, so this is the most basic mechanism that you have learned in chapter of alkene. So I really hope that at this level you dah boleh master dah benda ni Okay. Okay semua boleh follow? Komen sikit. Hi Sab, hi, hello. Okay. Ramai ni geng-geng lama-lama ni. Thank you so much for come and supporting me Okay, right. So, question D. Suggest a chemical test that can be used to distinguish compound B from 1-pentanol and 2-pentanol. So, in other words that a chemical test that can be used in order to differentiate 3 different types of alcohol. Because as you can see that compound B tadi kita tahu dah is tertiary alcohol. 1-pentanol is a primary alcohol. 2-pentanol is a secondary alcohol. So, in order for us to differentiate, okay, to differentiate different of alcohol, we have to use Lucas test. Okay, Lucas test is used to differentiate types of alcohol. So that's why lah. Whenever you guys have the chemical test, ini another hint that I would like to teach you. Anything about chemical test. Soalan tanya you, suggest a chemical test. Give one chemical test. Apa-apa sajalah when it stated a chemical test. What you are supposed to do, ikut step by step ni ya. First, you have to give the name of the test. Mesti ada. Second step, you have to give the reagent and also the condition that have inside that chemical test. And then third, you give the chemical equation for the positive results. And then number 4 is the observation that comes from number 3. Maksudnya, apa positive result dia, apa dia punya observation. And then the fifth step, you tulis chemical equation for the negative result. Ini paling senang because most of the time you tulis yang sama, dia punya result akan jadi no reaction ataupun no observable changes. And then the last step, observation untuk number 5, which usually awak akan guna no observable changes. Tapi depends juga. If you are changing, if let's say you are if you guys are doing a chemical test between two different functional group, dia mungkin akan ada difference of observation. Yang tu you have to be alert sikit lah. Tapi kalau untuk Lucas test ni is very straightforward. Okay. Tapi kalau we are combining if you guys are comparing two different functional group, that one you have to be alert lah. That mana satu functional group lagi positive result, mana satu yang bagi yang negative. So, kalau for this one, okay, so nak saya nampak jawapannya I bagi pun nampak. I follow the step by step tadi. First, name dia, Lucas test. And then reagent dia, concentrated HCl and also ZnCl2. Please highlight the word concentrated because HCl kalau diluted tak jalan benda ni. Dia mesti yang concentrated. Okay, and then chemical equation nampak? I bagi yang positif dulu. Positif I bagi untuk B because B is tertiary alcohol. Okay, so this OH plus HCl. Inside the chemical equation, most of you mungkin akan lupa perkataan ni. Concentrated tu. So always write down the concentrated just at the bottom of it. Kecil tulis pun tak apa. Okay, at least we know the fact that you are talking about concentrated HCl. And then, ini catalyst dia, ZnCl2, that's why catalyst kena dekat atas. And then you dapatlah, you are changing the OH to become Cl. Okay, for tertiary alcohol, the observation nampak tak? Cloudy solution form immediately. Ataupun sometimes they use the word instantly. Okay, so maksudnya cepatlah berlaku. You form it immediately directly. Okay, and I do believe for all of you guys have done this experiment before, so you boleh nampak dah all this Lucas test directly. Okay, and then for 2-pentanol, sama juga the same chemical equation. Okay, you are changing OH become Cl, but the observation, cloudy solution form within 5 to 10 minutes. Ini yang penting ni. Within 5 to 10 minutes. Ada juga some of the lecturers ada yang jawab upon heating dekat hujung, which is betul juga, tak kisah. Ada upon heating tak ada, tak kisah. Yang penting ini. Yang penting dia punya time sini. Within 5 to 10 minutes. And then yang paling senang untuk primary alcohol, ini when you react HCl and zinc ni, there are no observable changes. Kau tunggulah berminggu-minggu, bertahun pun dia takkan tukar. Okay, so that's why the observation is does not turn cloudy solution. Even after heating ni is optional. Ada tak ada pun tak kisah. Yang penting no cloudy solution produce. Okay. Alright, so this is Lucas test. Is used to distinguish type of alcohol. So, are you guys okay so far? Boleh follow? Lagi sekejap Okay, alright. So, kita akan proceed to the second question, which is ini. Ni sajalah angkat diri sendiri kan, guna nama sendiri, nampak Mr. Roro tu kan. Okay. So, Mr. Roro are requested to distinguish differences between 3 reagent bottles labelled as HINJ. Tapi all 3 ni ada dia punya C4H10O. Maksudnya chemical equation dia sama lah. The only difference is dia kata ni apa? Hand Mr. Reactor conductor. So dia buatlah simple test. Dia buat 2 test, hot acidified potassium manganate and also iodine in sodium hydroxide. Okay. Dia tanya soalan tak? Soalan ada tak soalan untuk hadiah-hadiah tu? Ada kan? Okay, boleh kan? Okay, right. So, ini soalan untuk hadiah. Okay, soalan untuk hadiah. Nampak? Soalan untuk hadiah ni Okay. Can someone tell me what is this test called? Iodine in the presence of sodium hydroxide. Can somebody tells me what is this test called? Iodine in presence of sodium hydroxide. Siapa yang dapat tulis dulu jawapan dekat ruang chat. I would like to see. The first answer correctly will be the winner for this round. Ini my question. What is the name of the test that uses iodine in the presence of sodium hydroxide? Apa nama test dia? Correct. Wah, ada yang laju ni. Brandon Kueh, congratulations. Is Iodoform test, okay? Macam mana? Macam mana ni? Mouse dia. Situ. Tekan ni boleh. Oh ni, okay. Tadi okay. Okay, keluar dah. Okay, thank you Sir Rushdie. So, congratulations Brandon. That's the right answer. That's fastest as well. Okay, so the answer is Iodoform test. That is good. Okay, it's Iodoform test. So, this is actually Iodoform test. Okay, so as you can see, Iodoform test is used to test 2 types of carbonyl. 2 types of compound. So, nanti we go through detail lah. So, question said, deduce structure HINJ. So, before I go through the detail on how to answer this question, I want you to highlight this keyword deduce ni. Deduce. Okay? Because when you see the word deduce, okay, you have to do a simple explanation. Because, how to say? Simple explanation means that, okay, alright. Okay, so simple explanation means anything related from your answers. And then barulah second part, baru you draw the structure. Okay, dia kena buat macam tu. Sebab deduce marks usually dia akan carry 2 to 3 marks question. So dia bukan just one thing kind of answers. Dia mesti ada 2-3 benda. So that's why whenever students who answer question for deduction, dia akan hilang markah. Hilang markah dekat mana? Hilang markah dekat explanation ni. Okay, usually they will lose marks because they did not explain what is that thing about. Okay, so that is why if you see from the answers, okay, question said deduce HINJ. So, kalau you tengok balik dekat sini, okay, when H react with hot acid manganate, positive result. Maksudnya dia boleh react. And then, tapi dengan ID of sodium hydroxide, tak ada reaction. Meaning Iodoform test has no negative it has negative result. So, that is why we can see that dia punya formula tadi apa? C4H10O. So, C4H10O. So, actually ini sama juga dengan C4H9OH. Meaning to say this an alcohol lah. Okay. So, kalau C4H10 very simple lah. Dia pendek. So, either 1, 2, 3, 4. Ini. 1, 2, 3, 4 ini, ataupun 1, 2, 3, 4 ataupun ini. So there are 3 structures only, 3 possible. So you tengok balik. Kalau kita tengok balik hint yang dia bagi, reaction for hot acid manganate positif, tapi iodine in hydrogen dioxide negatif. So cuba tengok balik dekat sini. Ini primary alcohol. Primary alcohol can do oxidation. Tapi iodoform test, you can see that this carbon dia ada OH, dia ada H, tapi ini adalah propal. Dia sepatutnya kalau untuk iodoform test, dia kena ada H, dia kena ada OH, dia kena ada metal CH3. So that's why primary alcohol cannot do iodoform test. So that is why we can deduce that this first structure ini adalah our H. It's a primary alcohol. And then second for J, hot acid manganate positif, iodoform test pun positif. So tengok balik. Ini secondary alcohol. So secondary alcohol, sorry, saya tekan apa ni? Secondary alcohol, dia boleh oxidize, become ketone. So that's why dia ada reaction. And then, cuba tengok sini. This carbon ada OH, this carbon pun ada H, this carbon pun ada metal. That's why dia boleh do iodoform test. So that's why we can deduce that this second structure is structure J. And then last one. Nah, ini paling simple. Tengok J, dua-dua negatif. So, dua-dua negatif, confirm lah selalunya adalah tertiary alcohol. So that's why lah jawapan yang cantik sikit. Okay, you boleh tengok inilah. Mana nampak kat bawah ni lah. So, H is a primary alcohol. So, nampak bila deduce, you kena tulis statement ni. Wajib ada. Okay, with dengan idea macam ni, apa information yang tak ada dalam soalan, that will be your answer. That will be the marks as well. Okay, so that is why you see, even though in my answer ni, I lukis dah betul. Ini dah betul lukis. Dah lukis. Tapi ini kena ada juga statement. Sebab perkataan deduce. Always remember that. And for those who have done the past year question, I think last year punya question, right? Last year punya question banyak soalan yang di deduce. So most of the KML student loses mark because of they forget to explain sikit ni je. So sayang lah. Okay. And then I, secondary alcohol, kau lukis. J, tertiary alcohol, lukis. You see, by doing this simple thing, in exam, ini jadi 6 markah dah. Banyak ni actually. Okay. So, of course, in PSPM tak sesenang macam ni lah kan. Okay. So, just telling you lah, kalau this question comes out, dia akan jadi statement 1 markah, drawing 1 markah. It's very, very straightforward. Okay. Alright, and then, kejap. Okay. Okay, next question. It says there, based on the result above, write all the chemical equation that give a positive result. So, kalau tengok balik positive result dekat sini, H positif, I positif ada 2. So, 3 equation lah we have to write down. Okay, H ada 1 equation, I ada 2 equation. So, that's why the answer, like this one lah. Ini tadi untuk H. Nampak H, Carbonyl 4, H plus and heat. Ingat balik rules tadi. Reactant tambah reagent. Atas arrow ni mesti condition. Mesti dia punya solvent ataupun catalyst. Bawah mesti condition. So same effort that we same concept that we use. Dapat produk. Ni secondary alcohol, Carbonyl 4 H plus heat, dapat ketone. Ini iodoform test. Okay, ingat iodoform test kita akan buang metal. Metal will be removed. So that's why you punya produk akan ada less 1 carbon. So tengok sini, 1, 2, 3, 4. Ini 4 carbon. Tapi bila jadi produk, 1, 2, 3. 3 carbon only. So satu metal that comes out tu dia jadi ini, iodoform. So inilah akan jadi, give you the yellow precipitate. Okay. And then, for 2C. 2C, question asks you to write the chemical equation for H. H is a primary alcohol tadi. Ini. React dengan ni, pyridinium, chlorochromate, indichloromethane. Apa kejadah benda tu? So, nama je fancy. Actually, this thing actually yang nampak ni, dia PCC. Dia actually is PCC in CH2Cl2. So, instead of giving you the direct information, dia sajalah bagi nama panjang sikit. Okay. So, dia ask you write down to PCC, potassium metal and so potassium pentachloride. Ni satu. Phosphorus pentachloride. You guys have learned mathematics. Penta means 5. Chloride is Cl. So basically this thing, it means PCl5. Okay. So equation dia macam ni lah. Okay. Nampak? Primary alcohol, PCC, CH2Cl2. Kalau alcohol, kalau primary alcohol react with PCC and CH2Cl2, dia akan dapat aldehyde. Okay. Ini ni primary alcohol with K, you akan dapat O minus K plus, and then ini side product penting half H2 arrow up. Mana datang half ni? You fikir logik. Hydrogen gas dia akan ada 2 biji kan, H2. Dalam sini kita ada 1 H. So we just balance up the chemical equation sahaja. Okay. And for this part, kalau you nak tulis OK pun boleh, instead of tulis charge, boleh sahaja. Janji ada the metal and oxygen next to one another. Okay. And then last one, ini pun sama juga, yang penting ni the side product. We know that OH will change to become Cl. So that's why OH become Cl. Tapi the side product, we have 2 side product, HCl and also POCl3. Ini kena hafal lah, okay? Because usually for question that uses PCl5, memang dia akan ada chemical equation, mesti marks will be given untuk kesemua benda. Kalau tak cukup, dia akan consider salah. Okay? Alright. And then next question, untuk J pula. J tadi tertiary alcohol tadi. Benzoic acid in the presence of concentrated sulfuric acid. So, J alcohol. Ini carboxylic acid. Ini sulfuric acid is a catalyst. So, senang cakap we are doing ester juga. Macam tadi. Okay. And then phosphorus trichloride. Ini actually PCl3. So, PCl3. So, that is why lah. So, inilah equation dia, okay? Alcohol with carboxylic acid. Okay, ingat balik, alcohol loses OH. Carboxylic acid loses, terbalik lagi, sorry. Okay, alcohol loses H. Carboxylic acid loses OH. So, oksigen buang. Okay, sini H sini. So, bila you buang oksigen, nampak carbon positif, oksigen negatif. You combine saja. So, nampak, iocase carboxylic acid. Okay, betul, this oxygen pergi pada carbon positif. Tarik je. Tu belakang tu sama saja. So this the ester. Side product mesti H2O. Kenapa kena ada H2O? Sebab apa? This is a chemical equation. And then yang penting ini juga, one more thing. When you use PCl3, do not forget dia mesti ada 3 mol 3 mol tu wajib ada. Right? So 3 mol of alcohol react PCl3, you akan dapat 3 mol of your haloalkane plus with H3 PO3. Okay? So for those who cannot get this kind of thing because I cakap cepat ke apa-apa, don't worry, I will give the answer of all of this through your lecturers, and your lecturers akan share balik the answer with you guys. Okay, so are you guys okay so far for alcohol? Siapa tu? Pelik ni. Tiba-tiba ada spam popular sehari ni, sampai spam masuk. My god. Okay. Takut kejap tiba kata naked picture. My god. Nak ke? Tak boleh sebagi. Korang tak tidur malam lagi. Macam mana ni? Okay. Alright. Ismail, kau nak hadiah, kau jawab dulu walaupun kau dah habis lama kimia, kau jawab dulu. Kalau kau jawab nanti kau dapat. Okay? Apa dia? Kan? Okay, masih boleh. Okay, good. Apa dia? Dah hilang dah. Okay, so now we go straight to the next part, which is carbonyl. Okay, so kalau carbonyl ni pula, as we know lah, carbonyl is actually an aldehyde and also ketone. Okay, so nampak tak? Kalau usually you see kenapa I bagi soalan yang macam banyak perkataan wording sebab kalau you perasan PSPM question whenever come to chapter of carbonyl, carboxylic acid, they love to give this kind of thing. Dia akan bagi long-winded kind of question in paragraph and then you have to extract information from there. So it's kind of like macam it's a hassle a bit lah, you know, sebab you have memorized so many things but you have to extract things, you have to do something in order to answer those kind of question. So that's why I bagi soalan yang macam ni lah. And if we look at the time, it's already 9 o'clock. So I think for carbonyl, I discuss satu soalan saja lah. So nanti soalan kedua nanti I akan bagi jawapan lah, okay, through your lecturers. Nanti kita ada carboxylic acid lagi ni. Carboxylic acid pula nanti akan ada cik manis kita, Cik Amira pula akan jadi panel. So I kena bagi peluang lah. I tak boleh jadi overshadow semua kan. Nanti orang menyampah tengok aku pula. So I'll go to only one question. Nanti soalan kedua nanti I'll give the answer to this. Alright. So sama juga, you see, sama juga dia punya pattern. I bagi soalan bla 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 bla. So when you have this, always try to get information macam mind map sini. Okay, I extract directly saja. So you see compound P with a molecular formula C4H8O contain tertiary carbon. So dia saja bagi hint tu. Tertiary carbon in its carbon chain. So kalau kita dah tahu dah C4H8O ni actually dia punya formula is C4H8O, dia sama juga dengan CnH2nO, which you know ini adalah untuk carbonyl. So carbonyl ada dua, aldehyde and also ketone. Dia ada dua benda ni. So kalau aldehyde also ketone, so you boleh adjust lah. Cuba try kalau C4H8O ni. Okay, kita try C4H8O. So kalau dia aldehyde 1, 2, 3, 4 1 1, 2, 3 1. Dia dua ni yang ada C4. Kalau ketone 1, 2, 3 lebih 1. Ini je satu. So obviously lah kan, kalau kita tengok balik tadi hint dia tertiary carbon in its carbon chain. So mana satu yang ada tertiary carbon? Inilah. Ini ada tertiary carbon. So that is why lah structure of P is actually ini. Inilah awak punya P. So you see that bila hint yang soalan macam ni bagi, kalau you have a very strong knowledge and strong memorizing skill on what is tertiary carbon apa semua, you boleh deduce lah this kind of thing. Okay, right. So then you extract je. P react with liah in ether. So liah in ether tu sebutan kita, tapi dia punya fancy name ni lithium aluminium hydride. Tu nama panjang dia. Followed by hydrolysis to form Q. So P react with liah in ether forming Q. Dia tu dia dah P forming Q. And then does not turn cloudy solution when react with a mixture of concentrated hydrochloric and also zinc chloride. Okay, kejap we'll take a break for a bit. Kejap je. Kenapa? Apa dia? Akaun siapa? Guna. Siapa yang nak akaun ni? Mana kata? Tapi sini tak keluar. Oh, keluar dah. Report. Report dulu bos. User additional. Tak masalah siapa yang Oh, pelik je.
Kan send message subscribers ke? Subscribers je.
Subscribers jadi limited lah, tak semua orang.
Limited tak boleh semua orang. Kau suruh orang subscribe. Suruh orang subscribe.
Semua channel tu.
Sebab bila anyone tu lah tadi tu, anyone tu siapa-siapa boleh.
Dia pelik juga siapa yang buat
Tak tahu. Dah tak keluar lagi kan?
Tak boleh. So tak apa kot, kita biar kalau dia benda berlaku aku jadi aku cakap dulu. Okay. Okay, right. Okay everyone, sorry for the technical issue a bit. Sebab tadi banyak soalan, banyak yang spammers lah, tak tahulah where's this spammers come from. Okay, it first time happen, so I'm so sorry for that, I apologize lah. Jangan fikir bukan-bukan lah, kami buka otak biru. Lain sikit Okay, right, so let's continue. So where do I stop here just now? Ini So Q consider ACL and ACL2 Lucas test. So no cloudy solution. So nampak ini dia kata je, he stated there, does not turn cloudy solution when react with mixture of concentrated ACL and also zinc chloride. So you tahulah ini actually is the, this actually inilah, okay, Lucas test. It's actually Lucas test lah. Okay, and then after that no cloudy solution. Kalau no cloudy solution, tahu dah ini must be a primary alcohol. So tahulah Q ni mesti primary alcohol. Okay, and then nampak sini P react with hydrazine. Hydrazine ni H2N, H2N, H2 akan dapat R. And then when P with KMNO4 H plus heat, dia dapat S. And dia cakap sini pH less than 7. So pH less than 7 is actually, kita tahulah, is acidic. So organic compound that is only acidic is only carboxylic acid, yang less than 7 lah, directly speaking. And then when S react with Q, concentrated sulfuric acid, dapat balik ester. Nampak sini dia kata strong fruity smell. Ini adalah another what is it? Another thing that is we call it properties of ester. So meaning to say that we jawab benda ni. So jawapannya nampak. Inilah jawapannya Sekejap. These all the answers. And nampak soalan balik, soalan pun guna perkataan deduce. Deduce. So bila deduce, so kena guna balik lah macam tadi tu. Nampak tak? Kena explain that P is an aldehyde, baru Lucas structure. And then Q is a primary alcohol that give natural result, they undergo Lucas test. Kau tulis, you kena Lucas product dia. And then hydrazone compound, apa produk dia. Carboxylic acid macam mana. And then ester macam mana. So ini semua yang deduction punya answers. And then question second also, it asks you, okay, which is write down all the chemical equation. So sebenarnya ini semua chemical equation lah. So it's very straightforward. Okay. So as you can see that for carbonyl, okay, for carbonyl I'm not going to emphasize much. It is because carbonyl pun dia macam alcohol, dia very straightforward. Okay, dia very straightforward. That is why there are nothing much aku talk about, because dia banyak yang menghafal, memang tukar-tukar dia punya partner saja. Okay, tapi satu je yang I nak emphasize is untuk equation ini. Sorry, untuk equation ini. Ini. Macam mana nak combine carbonyl and also hydrazine. Okay, because sometimes student dia akan hafal yang lain, yang part ni, because ini part ni of hydrazine ni dia appears at the last part of the carbonyl. Selalunya budak akan malas nak hafal benda ni. So I'll teach you something very simple on how to combine them. So awak tak hafal pun awak boleh tengok macam mana nak combine them. It's very easy. So that is why untuk benda ni, okay, when you have your carbonyl plus with your ammonia compound. So carbonyl ini kan kata alkohol aldehyde lah. For paling simple ambil aldehyde. Okay, And then plus ammonia compound, I guna yang samalah hydrazine tadi as a contoh. So HNH2 and H2. So always remember, ingat benda ni. Carbonyl dia akan buang O. And ammonia compound dekat N sini, okay? At N, you akan buang 2H. So when O, satu O combine dengan 2H, produk you akan dapat H2O. Okay? 2H dengan O, combine dapatlah H2O. So how to combine this? Senang je. Awak imagine macam ni lah. Awak padam yang O ni, dia ada double bond. Okay? N ni kan kita dah padam 2 kan? 2H. So tinggal lah macam ni kan? So combine lah. Sini pergi dekat N sini. So that's why dia akan dapat macam ni lah. Double bond N. Lepas tu belakang N tu kau follow je apa yang ada. So belakang contoh NH2. So dapatlah compound ini. I'll give you another example. Let's say I have this ketone. Okay. Okay. Plus with contoh I bagi apa? I bagi oxime lah. NH2OH. I bagi ini hydroxylamine. Ada N juga kan? So always remember, carbonyl compound losing O, ini akan buang 2H. So set product kita dapat ada H2O. So produk dia, okay, ini double bond kan? Double bond ni padam yang O sini, okay, sorry, padam O sini, padam H dekat sini. So kita combine je, double bond pergi dengan N. So double bond N, belakang N tu ada apa? Ada OH. That's how it is. Okay. Always ingat rule of thumb ini je, which is carbonyl losing O, ammonia compound losing 2H. Okay. Alright. So I emphasize yang tu saya lah. Okay. Yang because yang lain tu semua we have done this already. Acidification tadi dah buat. Okay. Oxidation pun tadi dah buat juga macam mana. Okay. And then reduction process ni is very straightforward because when we have aldehyde, when dia reduce, dia akan jadi primary alcohol. So you akan buang dia punya double bond O, you akan tukar H jadi OH. Okay, H tukar jadi OH, C double bond O akan hilang, totally gone. Okay, alright. So can I ask for a second question untuk hadiah? Okay, now dalam soalan sini, okay, kalau kita tengok balik soalan tadi dia tak ada sangat berkaitan dengan chemical test kan? Langsung tak ada chemical test. So, I want to ask you a simple question related to this. Okay, I bagi you 2 compound. I bagi you alcohol ini. I bagi you aldehyde ini. Okay. So, suggest a chemical test to distinguish these 2 organic compound. Okay, so let's say I cakap ini A, ini B. Okay, so the first one yang cepat jawab, okay, will get the gift for this. Okay, so what is it? What's the chemical test that I can use? Brady's test. Brandon lagi. Mantap. Lucas test tak boleh guna. Okay, kita bagi orang lain pula. Brandon, kau dah menang 2 handphone nanti susah pula. Kita bagi orang lain pula. Okay. Okay, ada lagi? Iodoform test. Boleh. Iodoform test boleh. So Adam, congratulations. Boleh. Okay. Okay, ada lagi tak? Brady's lagi. Okay, kita tahu dah. Kita ada Iodoform. Kita boleh Brady's. Apa lagi? I nak jawapan yang lain tu, yang memang betul-betul confirm tu. Cepat, tak dengar lagi tu. Duk nampak yang sama je, apa lagi? Korang belajar Lucas dengan Brady's je ke? Tolerance. Ada salah sikit tu. Ada salah sikit tu. Apa yang salah tu? Sniff. Wah, baru punya test. Sniff. I suka jawapan ni. Sniff. Okay, salah ejaan tu sniff tu bukan sniff, bukan sniff, bukan sniff. Bukan sniff. Sniff tu kau nak bau apa kau? It's not sniff. Come on lagi, ada lagi. Come on, ada lagi. Apa test yang kita boleh guna? Hint, fikir. Test that can be used for alcohol, for aldehyde. So nampak jawapan satu dah. Fehling test, that's correct. Adam lagi satu. Tolerance test. Adam kau dah menang dah. Aku bagi soalan lagi dah. I bagikan Eddie Liu. Okay. So Eddie Liu, Adam and also Polaris Physalis. Congratulations tiga-tiga tu betul So we can use Iodoform test, we can use Brady's test, we also can use tolerance test. We also can use Fehling's test. So, tolerance ni ingat dia punya apa tu? Spelling tu S baru apostrophe. Okay? Because dia punya nama memang ada S, tolerance. So that's why English, frankly speaking, mesti ada apostrophe after the S. Okay, so tolerance test. And then Fehling test tu is very straightforward lah. Memang nama dia Fehling, tak ada S. So that's why apostrophe S. Okay. So, bagus jawapan Fir tu. I nampak oxidation. Okay, so oxidation boleh guna ke tidak? Okay, might I explain sikit. Oxidation, even though it is a test, but it cannot be used to determine as a chemical test. It is because oxidation test takes a very long time to proceed. Dia bukan jadi test, dia dah jadi macam eksperimen, dia jadi macam reaction. So, kalau macam you tengok macam tolerance test, Fehling test, Brady's test, benda tu dia immediate. And you all have done experiment 6 last time, right? A couple of weeks ago before our raya. You can see that all the tests, awak campur-campur terus dapat. Tak payah nak masuk water bath pun dapat result directly. So, itu baru kita kata chemical test. Kalau oxidation tu, dia dah jadi oxidation reaction, it takes a longer time. You also dah buat hari tu. Kita kena letak dalam water bath for 20 minutes baru nak dapat dia punya results tu. So, kalau something that takes a very long time, it is not considered as oxidation. It's not considered as chemical test. So, memang betul. All these tests that we have mentioned earlier, ini semua oxidation test actually. Okay, ini semua oxidation process. However, all of these takes a very short time to proceed. So that's why dia boleh jadi test. Kalau oxidation ini, dia akan jadi reaction. Sebab dia ambil masa lama. So that is why, kalau in exam, if question asks you to suggest a chemical test, jangan guna oxidation. Okay? Oxidation ni, jangan guna. Dia equation tak salah, tetapi the process tu yang akan salah. Okay, so kita accept this for answer lah. So congratulations again to siapa tadi lupa dah. Adam, Eddie and also kat komen dah. Okay, congratulations Adam, Eddie Liu and so Polaris Physalis. Aku nak pronounce pun susah nama kau so tapi congratulations to all of you, to 3 of you Okay, so if you look at the time, now it's already 9:12. So we'll take a break for a while. We'll take a break for 5 minutes for toilet breaks, minum air ke apa semua. I pun nak minum air kejap. So I'll give my session to Miss Amira after this for Carboxylic acid. So thank you so much for all my ex-students who joining me, who give me support and everything. Thank you so much. I hope you guys can give some positive feedback to all the kadar malauns yang nak exam minggu depan. Bagi semangat sikit. Kau cakap lah, jangan cerita-cerita hantu pula kat mereka. Okay? Alright, so we'll take a break. See you guys in a bit. Bye-bye. Sebab kalau aku bincang soalan nombor 2 tu I bincang soalan tu lebih panjang sebenarnya.
Okay, hi, Assalamualaikum everyone. Ada supporter ya kat sini. Okay, so my name is Amira Quratul Ain. So you can call me Miss Amira. So saya akan explain beberapa soalan untuk chapter 10 carboxylic acids and its derivatives. Alright. So soalan-soalan ni actually dah merangkumi everything that you should know dalam chapter 10 ni sebenarnya. So you should do it and then try to fahamkan everything, okay? Alright, so let's see the first question. Okay, before that, are you guys ready?
Yes.
Sila komen. Ready ke? Hai. Okay. Hai Fu. Hai semua. Hai Zawil. Ni semua student saya ni.
Kejap interrupt sikit. Ex-student mana yang single ni single lagi. Boleh ni?
Tiba. Okay. Okay, so tengok semua masih dah ready kan? So kita teruskan dengan soalan yang pertama. Okay? Alright, so the first question is dia bagi list of compounds which are propanol, propanol, phenol, propanoic acid and benzoic acid. Okay, so there are 5 different compounds. Alright, so the first thing that you should know bila dah dapat soalan macam ni, you kena keluarkan all the information given. Alright, so let's see the first question. Arrange the compounds in ascending order of boiling point. And then you need to explain your answer. Alright, so you keluarkan all the information given. So sebagai contoh dia nak ascending order. Alright, so ascending order is dari kecil ke besar ataupun dalam soalan ni dari the lowest boiling point kepada highest boiling point. Alright? And then you need to includekan your explanation dalam ni. Alright. So, apa kata kita lukis dulu setiap satu compound tu. So, propanol macam mana? So, propanol adalah dia ada 3 carbon kan? And then dia adalah aldehyde. So, dia akan jadi macam ni. Okay? And then propanol macam ni. Dia still ada 3 carbon and then it has functional group of hydroxyl. Right? And then phenol. Dia adalah aromatic compound. So and then dia ada OH. And then propanoic acid ada 3 carbon juga. And then dia ada carboxylic acid dekat hujung tu. Alright? And then the last one is benzoic acid. Okay, benzoic acid is like this. Okay, so we have all the compounds drawn dekat sini. Okay. Alright, so let's see the answer for this one. Okay, so this is how you answer the question bila kita nak susun dari ascending order. So dari lowest boiling point kepada highest boiling point. So the answer is A, B, D, C, E. So there are 2 ways that you can use to answer this question lah. So you can use either this one atau cara yang ini. So yang ini you have to draw the arrow and then tulis ascending order. Kalau dia nak descending order and then you write down descending order lah dekat bawah tu. Okay. Alright, so the answer is like this. Okay, so dia yang A dulu, propanol is the lowest boiling point and then the highest boiling point is benzoic acid. Okay, so the next step yang awak kena buat is you have to explain echo stop apa? Boleh dengar bergema ke? Kejap guys. Sorry miss bergema. Genjutsu tu apa?
Genjutsu.
Apa tu?
Testing.
Gemar lagi tak?
masih lagi.
Itu.
Tadi okey.
Itulah tadi okey.
Kurang. Okay, nice.
Okey sudah.
Tekan ni.
Okey.
Tengok. It's fine really.
Okey,
Okay.
sir.
Okay pun.
Okay.
Alright, so kita teruskan Okay. Alright, so sekarang ni you have to compare two compounds. So, saya akan ambil yang dari awal tu, dari the lowest one which is A dengan B. Okay. So, kita tengok yang A tu. Dia ada apa? It has a dipole-dipole forces ataupun awak boleh guna van der Waals forces. So, pilih salah satu. Bawah van der Waals forces, awak tahu kan dia ada London dispersion forces dengan dipole-dipole forces. Okay. Tapi untuk yang A ni dia specifically ada dipole-dipole forces. Alright. And then yang B tu dia adalah alcohol. So alcohol dia boleh form hydrogen bond. So that's why that B is higher boiling point compared to A. Alright. Oh, lupa nak mention yang okay, dalam soalan tu dia bagi nama of the compound kan. Tapi awak boleh juga nak labelkan dia guna alfabet ni. Supaya dalam soalan dalam jawapan awak boleh jimat masa. Jimat masa dan awak boleh guna A, B, C, D, E tu saja, tak payah nak tulis panjang kan. Okay. Alright. So B has hydrogen bond kan. So hydrogen bond is stronger than dipole-dipole forces ataupun van der Waals forces. So up to you nak pilih yang mana satu. So bila dia stronger, we need more energy to break the intermolecular forces lah. Alright. So that's why B has higher boiling point compared to A. Alright. Okay, the next one. So awak kena compare dua tau. So the next one kita compare antara B dan D pula. Alright. So B dan D. Tengok B tadi kita tahu yang dia can form hydrogen bond. Okay. What about D? D, it has carboxylic acid kan. Dia adalah satu carboxylic acid. So kalau carboxylic acid dia boleh form hydrogen bond juga. Tapi the only difference antara hydrogen bond dalam carboxylic acid dan juga alkohol adalah carboxylic acid boleh form dimer. Okay, so dimer tu macam mana? Dimer tu mana saya nak lukis? Sinilah Okay, so dimer tu contohnya this is your carboxylic acid. Alright. Ni contoh je. Terbalik lah.
Can SES join? Boleh join, boleh.
Boleh. Semua boleh join. Okay, so this is your carboxylic acid. And then you have another carboxylic acid kat sini. Okay, so sini akan form, ini adalah your hydrogen bond. Ini pun. So, satu ni adalah dimer. Semua ni adalah dimer. So, itulah maksudnya dia boleh form dimer daripada hydrogen bond tu. Right? Okay. The next one. So, kita tengok antara tadi B dan D. So, sekarang C dengan D. Okay, C apa? C dia adalah phenol and then D adalah propanoic acid. Alright. So sekarang ni perbezaan antara dua ni adalah dari segi number of carbon ataupun molecular weight dia. Phenol tadi kita dah lukis kat sini. Dia ada 1 2 3 4 5 6. 6 carbon. Apa tadi? Propanoic acid dia ada 1 2 3 carbon. So lagi sikit kan. So dia punya molecular weight lagi kecil berbanding dengan phenol. Okay. Right. So that's why C has higher boiling point than D. Sebab C has a bigger molecular weight than D. So dia ada stronger van der Waals forces than D. Walaupun dua-dua boleh form hydrogen bond. Alright. Okay, the next one. The last one. So the last one is between C and E. So C dia adalah phenol. Okay. And then E adalah benzoic acid. Okay, so tadi kita dah lukis juga. Dua-dua ada the same number of carbon. Dua-dua ada 6. Okay. So the only difference adalah dia punya functional group. Okay. So yang E dia adalah the highest boiling point. Dia ada highest boiling point sebab dia boleh form dimer. So kita tahu yang kalau ada carboxylic acid, dia boleh form dimer kan. So that's why the boiling point untuk E is higher than C. Okay. And then also E has biggest molecular weight, which leads to a strongest van der Waals forces. Okay. So maksudnya awak kena tengok apa? Awak kena tengok number of carbon tu juga, alright? Ataupun molecular weight dia. And then awak tengok functional group dia apa. So dalam ni dia ada hydroxy dengan carboxyl group je, okay? Alright, so that is all untuk soalan 1A. Setakat ni okay? Okay, sila komen okay ke?
Okay.
Okay, kalau okay, saya nak bagi soalan. Tapi hadiah dia, hamper dia kecil je lah. So soalan dia senang je. Tadi masa Sir Roro besar. Ni kecil ni ke? Oh,
Tu kecil tu.
tak adalah kecil sangat sebenarnya. Okay lah, not bad. Tak berat ke?
Tolak air tu sikit.
Ada?
Saiz macam ni.
Macam ni saiz dia.
Nampak ke? Ni. Besar lah. Seminggu boleh makan. Okay, so soalan saya adalah, okay, which functional group can form dimer through hydrogen bonding? Functional group yang mana boleh form dimer through hydrogen bonding? Senang.
Senang.
Oh, dia lambat. I will remain silent.
Alah.
Ya.
Alah. Okay. Alah.
Tak apa, bagi chance kat orang lain Brandon. Okay, Abby jawab carboxylic acid. Ya ke carboxylic acid? Ellen, Maricilia. Ya ke carboxylic acid? Saya ulang balik soalan.
Ulang.
Which functional group can form dimer through hydrogen bonding? Yeah, Harani Kainizu. Congrats. Yeah, so the jawapan is jawapan dia adalah carboxyl group. Carboxylic acid tu apa? Okay, so kita nak functional group. So that's why jawapan yang betul adalah carboxyl group. So ambil jawapan nama dia tadi.
Boleh. Tekan nama dia tadi. Mana tak bawah lagi. Yang first tu. Tu Harani.
Macam nak pin.
Tekan je. Tu.
Okay. Okay, so congrats Harani. Okay, so let's move on to the next question. Right. Ini adalah soalan 1B. Okay? Okay, 1B. Compare the solubility in water between propanoic acid and benzoic acid. Okay? So ada dua. So kita nak tahu mana satu yang lagi senang nak dissolve lah kan dalam water tu. Alright. So the answer is, okay, dua-dua kita tahu yang dia ada hydrogen bond sebab dua-dua ada functional group of carboxyl group. Okay. So, tapi propanoic acid is more soluble in water. Sebab apa? Sebab dia ada smaller hydrophobic area in propanoic acid. Sebab propanoic acid tadi kan macam ni, and then benzoic acid adalah macam ni. So benzoic acid ni ada huge aromatic ring tau, which is aromatic ring yang mana? Yang ni, right? This one. Okay, kalau awak kira pun dia ada sampai 6 carbon kan. So it has a huge aromatic ring. So that's why it has a bigger hydrophobic area. So kalau bigger hydrophobic area, maksudnya susahlah dia nak dissolve in water. Sebab hydrophobic bermaksud dia tak suka air kan. So dia susah nak dissolve. Alright. So that is the answer. Very straightforward je. Alright, the next one. Okay, 1C. Can propanoic acid be soluble in hexane? Okay. So propanoic acid adalah macam ni tadi. So banyak kali dah lukis. Sama je. Hexane pula 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So hexane macam ni. So boleh ke dia ni soluble in hexane? The answer is yes. Sebab due to the van der Waals forces between hexane and alkyl group of propanoic acid. So maksudnya antara sini ni sebenarnya, dekat antara dua ni akan ada van der Waals forces. So itu yang membuatkan dia boleh dissolve in hexane. Okay, but you have to highlight yang alkyl group of propanoic acid yang terbalik lah. Sorry. Alkyl group. Okay, alkyl group di sinilah yang boleh form van der Waals forces dengan hexane tu. Okay, so yang tu awak kena highlight kan. Dia bukannya yang ini yang form van der Waals forces tu dengan hexane. Alright. Okay. Laju sangat ke? Okay je kan? Okay, the last question. Sebab soalan nombor 3 tu nanti akan diberi jawapan je. Sebab dia very straightforward. So tak perlu nak discuss sangat pula kan. Alright. So soalan nombor 2 ni, arrange the compounds in ascending order of acidity and explain your answer. Okay, so we need to keluarkan all the information given. Dia nak ascending order lagi. And then berkaitan dengan acidity. Okay. So sekarang ni awak susun, the answer is like this. Okay. So we have a hexanol kat sini, and then phenol, and then yang seterusnya. Okay. So awak kena guna ada dua cara kan tadi untuk tulis jawapan ascending order ataupun descending order. Awak boleh guna cara yang arrow ni, ataupun awak boleh guna yang tanda lagi besar, lagi kecil ni. Okay. Alright, so the answer is, awak kena bandingkan macam tadi. Bandingkan antara dua. So kita akan bandingkan antara B dan A ni. So awak tengok, yang B tu dia ada apa dan A tu dia ada apa. Apa perbezaan dia? So yang A tu dia adalah phenol. So kalau phenol, dia akan ada delocalization of negative charge ataupun delocalization of electrons lah basically into the benzene ring. So macam mana tu? Dia akan macam ni lah. So dia akan ada phenoxide ion. Okay, ini dipanggil phenoxide ion, which is this one. This one phenoxide ion. So delocalization of electron tu macam mana? Dia akan bergerak dari sini and then ni ke sini. So itulah maksudnya delocalization of electron ataupun delocalization of negative charge into the benzene ring. Okay. So bila ada delocalization tu, itulah yang membuatkan dia lagi stable tau, berbanding alkoxide ion. Alkoxide ion ni untuk yang inilah, untuk hexanol ni. Alright. Okay, the next one. Okay, sebelum saya teruskan yang seterusnya, saya nak bagi satu lagi soalan, boleh ke? Tapi hamper dia hamper yang tadi tu. Kecil sikit je. So, soalan dia adalah, which compound has electron withdrawing group? Okay, compound ada kat sini, yang ada 5 ni. Yang ni. So, which one yang ada electron withdrawing group? Student saya kenalah jawab kan?
Orang lain yang tak email rumah tu. Bukan dapat dari email rumah tu. Belum lah. Kita email rumah tu lagi satu email. Oh.
Okay, thank you for answering. Avi jawab E je. Tapi dia ada 2 kan? E dan... Ui, lajunya. E dan D. Okay? So, yang H tu... Okay, congrats Ha. Sebab jawab dengan betul. So, dua-dua ni, E dan D ada electron withdrawing group, which is yang fluorine ni. Okay. So, electron withdrawing group boleh jadi fluorine, boleh jadi chlorine, boleh jadi bromine. Okay. Alright, so... okay, dah pindah. Okay, thank you guys for answering. Okay, so kita in the deep silence. Brandon. Okay, so kita akan teruskan yang seterusnya. Mana tadi? C dan A kan? Okay, so kita akan bandingkan antara C dan A pula. Okay, so yang C tu dia ada carboxylic acid kan? Dia ada carboxyl group, functional group of carboxyl group. Okay, so dia akan jadi more acidic than A. Sebab apa? Sebab dia ada delocalization of electron ataupun negative charge between 2 oxygen atoms. Okay, yang tu macam mana pula? Yang tu, okay, dia akan jadi macam ni. Okay. Okay, so delocalization of electron ataupun negative charge tu akan bagi pada sini, and then dibagi kepada oksigen lagi satu tu. So yang ni dia akan form resonance lah. Okay. So yang oksigen yang ni pula yang akan ada negative charge. Right. Okay. So bila ada delocalization of electron between 2 oxygen atom, dia jadi lagi stable, berbanding dengan yang phenol hanya ada 1 oksigen. Okay. Alright, antara C dan E pula. Okay, ini yang tadi saya tanya tadi. Dia ada electron withdrawing group, which is fluorine tu. So, antara C dan E, E akan jadi more acidic sebab dia ada the presence of electron withdrawing group. So, bila ada electron withdrawing group tu, electron withdrawing group akan withdraws the electron density away from the OH bonds. So, itu membuatkan yang OH bond tu jadi weaker. So, bila weaker, kita senang lah kan nak break the bond, and also senang nak release hydrogen ataupun proton. So, kalau proton kan memang berkaitan dengan acidic. So, kalau senang nak release, so lagi acidic lah dia. Alright. And then, okay, so that's it for that one. And then antara E dan D. D lagi acidic. Kenapa? Sebab, okay, so you have electron withdrawing group yang kat sini dengan kat sini kan? Okay, kalau awak perasan yang D tu, electron withdrawing group dia tu lagi dekat dengan carboxyl group tu. Okay, so bila lagi dekat, of course the effect lagilah kuat. So, dia akan jadi more acidic. So OH bond in D is weaker, so you can easily break the bond and then you can easily release the hydrogen atom ataupun proton. Okay, so jadi more acidic. Oh. Alright, so that is all from me actually. Untuk soalan 3 ni nanti akan diberi jawapan lah ya, sebab dia straightforward je. So okay, Sir Roro nak cakap sikit.
Okay, I ada nak share sikit something berkaitan dengan tu yang tadi Miss Amira cerita pasal phenol dan juga carboxylic acid tu. I ada cerita sikit Okay, right.
Okay, so that is all from me. Saya serahkan kepada Sir Roro lah. Okay, so thank you guys.
Okay, thank you Miss Mira. Kejap je just kejap je before kita pergi quiz. Saya tahu korang semua nak hadiah kan. Okay, kejap saja. Okay, so ni nak cerita sikit je. Okay, so between phenol versus carboxylic acid. Okay, I senang cakap macam it's more to analogy untuk you nak dapat konsep mana satu yang more acidic. Okay, so senang cakap contoh kalau tengok phenol tadi macam Miss Amira draw tadi. Okay, so bila dia jadi O negative, okay, this negative charge can be delocalized. So bila dia delocalized, dia akan jadi macam ni lah. Okay, negative. Okay, negative tu you akan nampak dia akan berubah-ubah tempat. So you can see that this negative charge daripada dekat atas dia akan pergi dekat bawah. Okay, so negative charge daripada atas dia akan masuk dalam benzin. Okay, tapi kalau untuk carboxylic acid pula, let's say I ambil paling senang ini. So nampak sini dia akan travel dekat 2 tempat saja. Okay, so you ingat balik, senang cakap ini ada 4 tempat dia travel, ini 2 tempat saja. Tetapi untuk phenol ni, nampak tak dia travel pergi pada carbon. The negative charge, negative charge go to carbon. Okay, tapi kalau sini negative charge go to oxygen. So you boleh imagine kalau untuk O ni, I ajar budak I, dia travel overseas. Kalau pergi kat carbon ni, dia travel locally. So, you fikir logik. Kalau awak travel overseas atau travel local, siapa yang lagi stable? Confirm yang banyak duit kan? Yang banyak duit tu mesti banyak travel overseas kan? So that is why, walaupun phenol ni dia ada 4 negative charge boleh travel, tapi dia travel at carbon, dia travel local. Maksudnya dia stable tapi tak sekaya, tak se-stable macam yang oxygen sebab dia dapat travel overseas. So itu in a way of very simple untuk awak nampak lah which one is more acidic. So kalau dapat travel overseas, lagi stable, lagi acidic. You dapat travel local, you stable tapi tak se-stable macam yang overseas itu. So actually itu je lah nak cerita supaya awak nampak beza lah phenol and also carboxylic acid, which one is more acidic. Even though phenol can do more resonance structures, tetapi it travel between carbon. Ini between oxygen. So oxygen is more stable. Okay, itu sahaja yang I nak cerita. Okay, I just nak tambahkan saja. It's just an analogy for you to get this concept lah. So now we go for the quiz session. So now without further ado, I know all the ladies are waiting for this guy. So I'm going to call Mr. Haikal to take over these quizzes. Right, Mr. Haikal?
lain-lain kan. Tak, sebab ni account lain ni, dia punya nama tu. Dia buat account baru.
Oh, yang saya.
Kalau macam ni tekan dia mesti. Kau tengok kan dia tak nampak. 25. Sini. Kertas mana? Alright, hello, assalamualaikum and good evening. Semua boleh dengar ke? Okay, right, assalamualaikum and a very good evening. Okay, so harapnya semua dalam keadaan yang sihat. So seperti yang kita sudah maklum, setiap penghujung ASIB, terutamanya season finale kali ni lah, okay, dengan tema raya, kalau nampak ada ketupat bergoyang-goyang kat atas tu, dengan bintang-bintang ASIB di bawah. Okay, so memang bertemakan raya dan juga yang korang paling suka lah, PSPM kan. Siapa tak suka PSPM? Mesti berminat kan. Okay, so untuk ASIB siri yang what is it called siri yang ketiga season final ni, kita akan main quizzes. So quizzes ni ada 10 soalan berkaitan dengan benda yang korang dah belajar tadi lah, berkaitan dengan chapter 8, chapter 9 dan juga chapter 10, which is the last part of the organic yang quite penting. Okay, so sebelum kita pergi kepada organic, saya akan share link untuk korang masuk ke quizzes. So ajak kawan-kawan, ajak rakan-rakan, ajak roommate yang tidur tu, kejutkanlah, ada quizzes ni. So tantah berpeluang, boleh tahu kan, rezeki tidak pernah salah alamat. So saya akan pergi ke boleh buka quizzes dan korang boleh join link di bawah. Okay, so let me show you the quizzes. Okay, so korang boleh join 109364. Okay, so boleh join quizzes 109364. Okay, dan penting juga lah, okay, kalau boleh letaklah nama sendiri sikit dan juga letak practicum lah, so nak mudahkan nak cari pemenang dia. So tapi kalau nak tambah nama-nama glamour pun boleh. Contohnya Faris Naruto, H7, boleh lah. Okay, ataupun nama-nama glamour yang lain, Fifi Salomon, H41, boleh lah, mana-mana pun. Lepas tu tiba-tiba ada Val Virus, K07 ke, macam pun boleh lah. Tapi asalkan ada nama sikit dan nama glamour sikit dan bagi satu practicum lah. Okay, so ajak kawan, ajak rakan-rakan. Kita nak tengok berapa ramai dah masuk.
Blok. Report pornografi tu.
Okay, so quizzes kita akan tengok berapa ramai dah masuk. Okay, ada 46. Okay, boleh ajak kawan-kawan, roommate. Yang dah tidur tu kejutkan. Setengah jam je. Penting ni quizzes ni. 51. Hadiah ini, kalau korang nampak ni, yang ini tadi comel-comel je kecil. Yang itu kalau pemenang yang tempat pertama 2 kali ganda. So lebih kurang macam tinggi Sir Rozaimie dah hadiah tu. Pendek sikit je. So make sure ajak kawan-kawan, ajak rakan-rakan. Okay, tu dah ada dah 78 orang. Okay, ajak lagi yang lain. Okay, so sementara menunggu masuk tu, tadi kan kalau kamu perasan, ada je yang hashtag syntetile. Orang tanya syntetile ni apa? Reptile ke apa ke ni? So syntetile ni, kalau tahu lebih lanjut, mari kita tengok video yang diberikan.
Buka OBS. Okay. Pergi buka ASIB sekejap.
Okay.
Amira kena keluar dulu.
Kamera aku dia halau.
Dah kan? Tak
Tapi
kan?
dah guna.
Dah kan? Dah.
Stop mirroring.
Stop mirroring. Okay.
Okay. So sebentar ini adalah sedikit video iklan Okay, so Synthetal ni sebenarnya adalah satu jenis game organik. Okay, so seperti mana yang korang tengok tadi, sebenarnya Synthetal ni adalah salah satu game organik yang menyambungkan pelbagai jenis reaction lah. Contohnya tadi macam kawan-kawan kamu tengok, ada daripada alkene, dia berjadi haloalkane dengan menggunakan reagent HBr. Okay, dan dia boleh juga jadikan dia, kalau bromine dia nak pergi sebelah kanan tu, dia kena letak peroxide. Dan melalui tu dia akan juga link chemical reaction daripada alkene tu. Dia boleh jadi haloalkane, boleh jadi alkohol, boleh oxidize jadi carboxylic acid, dan juga boleh jadi acyl chloride jugalah. So sebenarnya yang penting combination antara reagent dan juga condition yang betul akan menghasilkan compound yang korang inginkan lah, your desired product. So paling penting kena ada combination yang padu antara reactant dan juga compound tersebut. So ada setengah student dah main. So nanti kalau ramai lagi nak main, boleh tanyalah pensyarah kimia masing-masing. Kalau Miss ataupun Sir, boleh tak kami nak main Synthetal? Okay, so maybe you can ask your lecturer. Some of them knew about it. And then kalau you are interested to learn more or to study during your study weeks, then you can always let them know lah. Kalau ada available spot, then you can just ask your lecturer, and then your lecturer will know where to go and get you a slot for that. Okay, so kamu nantikanlah Synthetal tu untuk belajar organik lah terutamanya. Okay, so sekarang saya tengok untuk ASIB ni, untuk ASIB quizzes ni ada 146. Okay, so sebagi masa seminit lagi sebelum kita start. Okay, so 9.58 kita akan start. Dah sekarang 151. Okay, so ada 10 soalan. So make sure you can look at your notes at the fastest time and need to be done accurately. Okay, 153, 155, 156. Okay, kita ada H40 Syafiqah, Shazanani, Jess, okay, Hairul H39, Jeremiah H16, Jocelyn H32, Layau H11, adalah Fakrul F12. Okay, so kita akan Simu Siu F13, Fedelia H09. Okay, 159. So boleh start sekarang ke? Boleh Alright, so kalau ada apa-apa masalah, 159 orang. Let's start with the quizzes right now. Okay, so dehydration is an example of an elimination reaction. Choose the correct reagent digunakan dalam dehydration reaction tersebut. 5 saat, 4, 3, 2, 1 dan habis masa. Okay. Okay, so kita akan tengok dia punya jawapan, dan sepatutnya reagent yang kita patut gunakan adalah concentrated H2SO4. Okay, so concentrated H2SO4 kena datang dengan heating lah. Okay, mesti ada bagi tahu dia punya reactant dan juga dia punya condition. Alright, so we're gonna move on to the next question. Kalau kamu tengok KMnO4H plus heat ni, ini tak boleh. Ini adalah berkaitan dengan oxidation reaction lah, berkaitan dengan strong oxidizing agent. Dan HCl dengan zinc Cl2 ni berkaitan dengan Lucas test. Okay, so be careful of that. Okay, so we're gonna move on to the next question. Kalau saya rasa tak ada masalah lah. Okay, nanti korang check sendiri. Okay, to move on to the next question. In 3, 2, 1. Alright. So, which of the following reagent cannot be used to differentiate phenyl methanol dengan phenol? Okay, cuba bayangkan phenyl methanol tu bentuknya macam mana, phenol bentuk dia macam mana. Phenyl methanol dengan phenol, okay? Yang tidak boleh, yang cannot be used to differentiate, okay? So dekat sini kita akan tengok. So sekarang HUH berada di atas, di follow dengan LNF09, okay? So kat sini jawapan yang betul adalah sodium metal, okay? Kenapa? Pasal sodium metal ni dia akan react dengan phenyl methanol dan dia juga akan react dengan phenol. So bila dua-dua positif, kita tak dapat bezakan dia. So bila tak dapat bezakan dia, dia bukanlah identification test. Okay. Kalau phenol ni dia boleh react dengan FeCl3. So dia akan dapat purple complex. Alright. Dan dia juga boleh react dengan bromine butter. So dia akan dapat 2,4,6 tribromophenols kan. So dia pun boleh react. So adalah perbezaan positif dengan negatif. Yang sodium hydroxide ni pun phenol boleh react, tapi phenyl methanol ni tak boleh react dengan sodium hydroxide. Okay, so dia akan ada positif negatif. Sini pun ada positif negatif, ada positif negatif. So sodium je yang dapat dua-dua positif. So dia tak boleh jadi identification test. Alright, so let's move on to the next question. Question number 3. Okay, question number 3 berbunyi, which of the following reagent react dengan CH3, CH2, CH2, CH2OH, ada 4 carbon dengan alcohol group, hydroxyl group, which is butanol. Okay, tapi bukan dengan CH3 bracket 3COH kat sini. Okay, so ada 30 saat saja, tinggal lagi 5 saat. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, memang rushing sikit, maybe korang pun terkejut, bernafas dia terus kena jawab, tapi tak apa. Memang begitulah kehidupan kan. Kadang-kadang kita pun tak tunggu kamu. Kamu kena decide on the spot jugalah. Okay. So kat sini jawapan yang tak boleh, okay, yang mana akan react tapi tak boleh react dengan ini. Okay, kamu tengok ni adalah primary alcohol. So bila primary alcohol dia boleh oxidize. So contoh oxidizing agent dia adalah K2CR2O7 dengan H+. So dia boleh oxidize. Okay, untuk yang primary alcohol. Tapi untuk tertiary alcohol yang CH3 bracket 3COH ni dia tak dapat oxidize. Okay, that is why jawapan dia potassium dichromate with acidified with followed by heating jugalah, mesti ada heating. Okay, so yang lain ni tidak lah. Okay, so move on. Question number 4. Okay, so question number 4, which of the following reagent can test for an aldehyde? Tadi ni soalan ni pun juga yang kamu dapat hamper tadilah. So kena ingat semula. Okay, 5 saat. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, so soalan specifically ask you to test for an aldehyde. So from here, okay, you know that I2 and NaOH adalah Iodoform test. So dia adalah untuk detect methyl carbonyl group dan juga methyl carbonyl group. And kita nak tanya specifically for an aldehyde. So sebenarnya jawapan yang kalau kamu perasan dekat comment section tadi ada tulis tolerance test. Okay, yang mana dia kena ada S dan juga apostrophe. And tolerance test ni mesti ada tolerance reagent. Yang mana tolerance reagent tersebut adalah argentum diamine 2+ dan mesti ada alkaline condition. Okay, so kita akan, that is why jawapan dia kat sini lah. Alright, so still pun move on to the next question. Okay, so which of the compound undergo nucleophilic addition with HCN? Okay, so yang mana satu boleh react dengan HCN? So 3 saat 2, 1 dan 0. Masa menjawab telah pun tamat. So di sini apa kita dapat saksikan adalah Umi B XS XYZ berada di atas follow dengan pusingan ketiga tu tak nampak. So sebabnya nombor 3 soalan yang kelima ini adalah CH3 CH2 CO CH3. Okay, so dia boleh dapat cyanohydrin lah. Okay, CN akan masuk, O tu akan jadi OH. Okay, so ini kena tengok nota balik. Dia adalah nucleophilic addition. So next question. Okay, so bila kat sini dia kata aldehyde can be prepared when primary alcohol are oxidized using using apa? So kena fikirlah. Aldehyde tu dapat disediakan daripada primary alcohol. So ada banyak oxidizing agent kat sini. Mana satu oxidizing agent tersebut dapat memberikan aldehyde. So 5 saat daripada sekarang. 4, 3, 2, 1 and 0. Okay, so sepatutnya yang berada di atas sekarang leaderboard, let us see Umi B XYZ. Pasal ada Brandon Queh. Okay, so sepatutnya kat sini kita akan gunakan mild oxidizing agent. So mild oxidizing agent ni adalah PCC in CH2Cl2. Okay, so next question. Okay, so carboxylic acid is reduced to primary alcohol on reacting with apa? Okay, so macam mana kita nak reduce carboxylic acid ni menjadi primary alcohol? Kita kena guna apa? Yes. Okay, ada 8, 7, 6, 5 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, so masa menjawab telah pun tamat. So kat sini yang berada di hadapan adalah Umi B XYZ masih dan juga Brandon Queh Chen Chong. Okay, so kat sini ramai yang betul 113. Okay, so kat sini memang kita akan gunakan reducing agent. So reducing agent yang kita gunakan adalah LiAH, LiAlH4 in ether followed by hydrolysis. Okay, contoh-contoh reducing agent yang lain kamu boleh guna Nabiha in methanol ataupun catalytic hydrogenation lah, H2 in platinum or palladium ataupun nickel. Okay, so let us move on to the next question. Okay, so question yang seterusnya, an alcohol and carboxylic acid react together in the presence of acid as catalyst untuk form apa? So, tadi dah belajar ni. Ada alkohol, ada carboxylic acid, kamu remove apa dengan apa, dapat apa? Okay, so by right, everybody should get correct for this question lah. Okay, so you have 4 seconds to go. 3, 2, 1 and more time. Okay, so it's time's up. So bila time's up, kita akan tengok leaderboard dahulu. Okay, so bila tengok leaderboard, Brandon telah bermotong memintas tempat yang pertama. Dan kat sini Esther memang jawapan yang betul lah. Okay, so acid dengan carboxylic acid react untuk Esther. Okay, so kita akan pergi kepada soalan seterusnya. Ada lagi 2 soalan lagi, so try your best untuk mengejar di posisi hadapan. Okay, nak sabotage kawan tu janganlah tekan phone dia pula kan. Okay, dia have to share. Okay, so primary alcohol are only oxidized to carboxylic acid using strong oxidizing agent shown below except Lapan, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 dan 0. Okay, So bila kat sini, okay. So sekarang ni yang berada di hadapan adalah Brandon, Yumi B. Okay. Okay, so pentingnya kat sini, so bila primary alcohol nak oxidize, dia kena guna strong oxidizing agent. Okay, so bila strong oxidizing agent ada 3 lah. KMnO4H plus heat, K2Cr2O7H plus heat, ataupun chromic acid, CrO3H plus dengan heat. Okay, KCN tu bukanlah oxidizing agent. So kita akan move on to our last and final question for the quizzes ASIB siri yang ketiga. So let us move on to the last question. Do your best. Okay, untuk soalan yang terakhir. Carboxylic acid can react with itself by using PCl5, P2O5 dengan heat, acyl chloride dengan pyridine, NH3 dengan heat. So, carboxylic acid react together dengan menggunakan apa? Lima saat, 4, 3, 2, 1 and masa dah tamat. Okay, so kat sini yang berada di hadapan adalah Brandon, dan kedua Leobinus. Okay, dan yang ketiga, sekejap lagi saya akan tengok Okay, so kat sini yang penting kamu kena tahu, kamu kena gunakan diphosphorus pentoxide untuk allow carboxylic acid to react and combine together. Okay, so kita akan tengok leaderboard.
Leaderboard. Tak ada plus question ni.
Next question.
Tak ada dah.
Okay. Yes. Okay, so from kat sini,
Bawa sikit. Ambil yang first.
okay, so yang pertama Brandon
Farazila.
dan Farazila F02.
Debbie Elisa.
Debbie Alicia, ada 4 orang. Okay, so ada Brandon, Leobinus, okay, ada Farazila, Debbie Alisa
And Betsy.
dengan Betsy H01.
Empat.
Ada 4 ni. Okay, so sampai
1, 2, 3, 5.
1, 2, 3 dan nombor 4 ni lah kat sini. Kepada 4 sama markah. Okay. Okay, so sebelum saya tamatkan, saya nak paskan balik lah kepada untuk season final ni, saya nak paskan balik Sir punya platform ni kepada Sir Rozaimie. Okay, Sir Rozaimie dipersilakan.
Okay, alright. So again, congratulations to Brandon, Leobinus, Farazila, and also siapa tadi? Debbie Elisa from H2. Congratulations again for you guys. Okay, congratulations again for all of these 4 winners. So with that said, we basically finished our ASIB session finally. Okay, so I would like to say on the behalf of the committee, I would like to say thank you so much for every student who have been supporting us, who have been supporting this program, who've been always be here for every like 3 Fridays for 2.5 hours, joining us, listening to us. Thank you so much. And I really hope that you guys have learned something from all of these 3 sessions. And we do apologize for all the technical issues that happened throughout the session. Of course, we are just human beings. And you know lah, bila guna benda-benda technical ni, technical issue will be part of it, okay? So, before we end the session, I would like to introduce you to all the backbones of this program. So, first, I would like to invite my ketua for this program, which is Miss Juniza. Okay, bila panggil semua datang, semua kat belakang-belakang ni, kita nanti ni. Okay, this Miss Juniza, my boss for this program. Next, we have Mr. Haikal. Okay. Okay, and then this and then we also have Miss Amalina. Okay, this Miss Amalina, and then we have Miss Raudato Jana. Just hide it. Okay. This is a camera. Okay, and then we have Miss Amira just now. Okay, and the most important person who make all of this happen is Mr. Rushdie. Seriously, because without Mr. Rushdie, all of this YouTube live will never happen. So thank you to this person, okay? So these are all the persons. Belakang sini. Okay, so we are all, and there's another one which is Madam Madiana. She's our moderator. She's our moderator of the questions and everything. So thank you to her as well. Hope she's watching us. So all of these are all ASIB. So we like to say thank you so much for everyone. Okay, so that's it. Selamat Raya Maaf Zahir Batin. Okay, good luck for your exam. Okay, bye bye. Okay, habis. Bye. Okay, bye. Thank you.